Good morning. I've got your energy stories for the second week of February 2023. In the first one, Bloomberg NEF reports that corporations and institutions signed a record 36.7 gigawatts of renewables through purchase power agreements, or PPAs, in 2022, up 18% from the 2021 record of 31.1 gigawatts. This, even in the face of a war-induced global energy crisis, supply chain bottlenecks, and high interest rates. Cumulative clean energy PPAs since 2008 now total 148 gigawatts, more than France's installed generating capacity. The US DOE announced $74 million of funding for up to 7 pilot projects to test viability and scalability of enhanced geothermal systems. The goal is to deploy innovative technology and various development techniques to utilize the Earth's heat in various geologies. This is DOE's first funding tranche for geothermal energy since it launched the Enhanced Geothermal Shot, with the goal of cutting geothermal costs 90% by 2035. Americans purchased more electricity-driven air source heat pumps, about 4 million units, than gas furnaces last year. These mini-split heat pumps can be up to 3 times more energy efficient than gas furnaces and have become increasingly efficient in recent years. They can also provide cooling during warm weather, and their use is growing in many parts of the country, though thus far they've been most common in the mild southeast. While they become better in cold weather, use increases significantly in extreme cold, which can cause a meaningful increase in overall grid demand. In battery recycling news, Redwood Materials received a conditional commitment for a $2 billion DOE loan, which will be used to expand its Nevada battery recycling facility. The plant will recycle foils and both cathode materials such as lithium, nickel, and cobalt, as well as anode materials such as copper and graphite. Anode and cathode components represent close to 80% of total battery materials costs. Redwood's already processing copper foil and delivering it to Panasonic under contract, and it will process cathode materials later this year. Danish wind turbine company Vestas has recently discovered a novel chemical process that can break down epoxy-based blades into materials for reuse in new wind turbine blades. This innovation lessens the imperative to alter the current design and composition of materials used for turbine blades today. Vestas intends to scale up its chemical disassembly process into a commercial solution, partnering with epoxy manufacturer Olin and recycling specialist Stena Recycling. In hydrogen news, the Los Angeles City Council has voted to proceed with plans to convert an 830 megawatt gas-fired generating plant to operate on 100% green hydrogen and initiate an RFP to begin the $800 million project. Planned commissioning date and sources for green hydrogen have not been identified, and the Council will continue to investigate other alternatives. A prudent course, among other things, because the overall efficiencies involved with the electrolysis, liquefaction, or compression of resulting hydrogen, transportation, storage, and eventual combustion result in losses of up to 70% of the initial input electric energy. Sunrun and Pacific Gas and Electric seek to enroll as many as 7,500 new and existing residential solar and battery systems into a 30 megawatt virtual power plant that will participate in PG&E's summer reliability program. The VPP is intended to reduce the cost of power during periods of highest electricity demand and will be controlled to discharge daily from 7 to 9 p.m. during the months from August through October. The Energy Information Administration reports that developers intend to commission 54.5 gigawatts of new utility-scale capacity for the U.S. power grid in 2023. About 54% of that, 29.1 gigawatts, will be solar energy, twice the current annual record. 17%, about 9.4 gigawatts, will come from battery storage, and 7.5 gigawatts of new gas-fired capacity will be added. Wind is expected to come in at roughly 6 gigawatts, and 2.2 gigawatts of nuclear is finally expected to come from the long-delayed and drastically over-budget Vogtle nuclear plant in Georgia. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.